Yes, ma'am. Is this your first time here?
Yes.
Oh, welcome. How did you hear about us?
My husband.
Oh, good. Is he a beta or alpha?
He's an alpha.
He's always been an alpha?
No, I think he's always wanted to be, but I was pretty dominant and didn't maybe allow him so much to be.
So you would dominate him?
A little bit.
In what way?
I grew up in a family that had very dominating women, so I kind of got that too.
Oh, you grew up in a black family?
No. No, Latina. So
see,
kind of the same.
They're all the same.
Yeah.
Really,
the
just
same.
different colors, but the spirit is the same.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So my question is, being Latina, traditionally the girls would stay with the parents until they're married. Many cultures do this. Do you think that the girls, like we're going to have 2 daughters, so do you think that the daughters should also move out at 18? Because we have a son too, and I understand that for sure. But what about the girls?
Nowadays, because men are so weak, they may have to move out because they can't sit around and just wait for a man. But it's best that the girl is married before she leave home, but things have changed so much. And teach them not to hate, to work, to be responsible and do the right thing. And that way, if they do go out, they can take care of themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But in the good old days, when boys were boys and men were men, you knew that your daughter would get married, and she expected to get married, and then she would leave home.
Yeah.
Because she would have the protection of her husband. But nowadays, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Okay.
But so, how old are they now?
Kennedy is 4, and this one in here is 5 months.
Oh, good. Congratulations. Yeah. Just wait and see. How old is the son?
He's 2.
Okay, yeah. But make sure the son is ready to go.
Okay.
But prepare them all. Girls should be prepared too.
Sure.
Yeah, just not to hate the man.
And what kind of, because they have college funds happening, but because they're not really required to have that type of intellectual degrees, according to you, what do the girls or the boys, mostly the girls, what do the girls do then once they're done with high school?
That's a good question. That's a perfect question. I'm glad you asked that. And then John Scott, I got something to ask you in a minute. That's a perfect question. You want to answer that, Derek? Should she save for them, right? College fund and stuff like that, or what should the girls do?
Well, I guess growing up, they should be learning how to work, learning skills. So even if they choose not to go to school or go to college, they'll have something to fall back on that's tangible, something that will that they can always use.
Yeah, I wouldn't save college money for them. If they want to go to college, they need to teach them to work, and they need to save their own money for it. Because if you save it for them, they're not going to appreciate it. People don't appreciate free stuff because you kill their nature, and they become spoiled right away. So as soon as they're old enough to start working, doing things around the house, training them, right? And then as soon as they can get a job, make sure they get a job. And if they want to go to college, just tell them, you got to save your own money. It'll mean much more to them. And I wouldn't encourage them to go to college or not to go, but I would teach them to work and let them make that decision as they get older. That's the best way to do it. Because I promise you, the moment you give someone something free, you own them. And so by you giving them or saving money for college, you own them. If you don't, somebody else will. They're going to always look to someone to take care of them. But it's best that they earn their way, because we have a nature inside of us given to us by God, and it's built on being responsible. And we have to learn that at home while growing up. And then once they become an age, it's hard to get them to want to work. It's hard to get them to want to save, want to work, they'll try everything they can to get out of it. And that's why the government is winning right now, because it's offering people free stuff. Have you noticed that? They want free, they're telling them all, you can have free education, free food, free housing, because they know if you accept the free stuff, they have control over you. And that's how the drug dealer, he offer you free drug first, and once you say yes to it, they own you. That's how women control men. They offer them free sex first, and the men take it, the woman own them. Have you noticed that?
Yep.
So it's not good to give people free stuff. When I was growing up, we didn't get into free stuff. Look how messed up black people are now because of free stuff. That's like socialism. It's something that happens that kills the nature when you give your kids or anybody free stuff. They have to earn it.
Yeah.
So will you be careful of that?
Yes.
Yeah, and I wouldn't push college because they have a natural talent inside of them, and that'll come forth if they're not angry. So as long as you guys are getting along, are you over your anger?
No, I don't think so.
Amazing. I feel for you, man. What has it been for you having an angry wife?
Well, I think it's kind of been passed down to her. Her previous, her mother and grandmother are from divorced homes, beta males that really just kind of got ran over. And then obviously there was not a Christian upbringing, so it was, the men got destroyed because
Did you know she was angry before you married her?
I did not know.
Oh, yeah.
No.
When you're in a fallen state, you cannot see what you're getting into.
No.
It's only coming in the morning after the night of.
Yo.
And so how have you dealt with it?
It's been a difficult road. I do your silent prayer. I've really been searching God. I read the Bible daily. Really just trying to ask Him to get me through this, and I've been listening to you as well, and that's helped quite
What's
a bit.
your first name?
Luke.
How long you been married to her? You guys been
4
married?
years.
How many?
4.
Oh, okay. Have you gone, and then I'll come back to you too. Have you gone and forgiven your parents?
That's the next step.
How long have you been watching a YouTube channel?
Just a couple weeks.
Oh, I see. Okay. It's not going to get better until you overcome being a woman.
Sure.
You have the mindset and emotions of a woman, and that's why a woman can dominate you like that. But as soon as you forgive your mother and return to your father, because they can't help themselves, things will start to change. And as well as your wife. Have you forgiven your mother?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I hold, I think, a little bit more resentment towards my dad.
Did you go to him and forgive him?
Not yet.
Why not?
For a while, I didn't know I had a problem or had to until Luke told me that I needed to do that.
Yeah. Oh, good. And will you go and forgive your father and mother? Why do you resent your father?
Because he was an alcoholic, he still is, and he cheated on my mom, and they stayed together, married until I was about 22, but I've never seen a happy home since I was 7.
So your father was an alcoholic. He cheated on your mother, right?
Yes.
But what does that have to do with you?
I think it made me confused on what a healthy relationship is. I don't know what it really looks like, and I act like my mom. I hear her anger.
Yeah.
Some of my tones, I can feel her there, and that wasn't good. And I'm mad at him for kind of doing that to her, but I'm also mad at her for not trying to have God in the house ever either.
Amazing. So the world taught her this. You mad at your father because your father was an alcoholic and he cheated on your mother. When in reality, that had nothing to do with you at all. Your mother made you think that. Oh, your dad is no good, he's an alcoholic, and she made you feel sorry for her, and you identified with her and lost yourself. And you only hate your father with your mother's hatred. You don't have your own anger for your father. Your mother set you up. Yeah. That's why you can see your mother in you, because you identify with her. Don't let anyone tell you that you're mad at your father because he was an alcoholic. It had nothing to do with you. Your father still loved you. He just hates your mother because he couldn't handle her. She drove him crazy. Yeah. But she didn't tell you, oh, your father was an alcoholic because I drove him crazy. She didn't tell you that. But you got to forgive her because she set you up. She really did. And you resent her for it, and that's why you're just like her. But God will take that spirit away from you and give you back yourself. And I have to tell you, there's nothing like being you. When you were a little girl, you were yourself. That's why you were so happy. And as soon as you became angry, you lost yourself and became like your mother. Most people are not themselves. Men and women are their mothers. and they've been lied to about their fathers. When I was growing up, I knew people who were alcoholic. The kids didn't care. We just laughed at them being alcoholic. Because the parents still show love for the kids. Yeah. And unless the mother turn you away from the kids, from your father, you think it's your idea. It's really not. So you owe your father, just let him know I resented you, but I realized it was my mother hatred. Because he didn't do anything to you. Mm-mm. But yeah, you feel like he did. But he did not do anything because you believed a lie from your mother. Isn't that unfortunate?
Yes.
Yeah. But it would change. Are you afraid to deal with her?
No, I was actually thinking it was going to be easier with her because she's not as emotional as my dad. My dad would cry and he would defend himself and say, I didn't do any of those things.
Right.
But my mom would be like, well, I'm sorry you feel that way,
What an evil woman. You got to go and put your feet on solid ground and deal with her. And she's going to try to switch on you, make you think you did something to her, or I didn't do that to you. Your father was no good. I raised you and all that. Don't pay that any mind at all. That's a setup. You forgive her for resenting her, and God will forgive you. Just say, you know what? I just want to forgive you for what you did to me. You turned me away from my father. You made me identify with you. My life is hell now. And I know it's because I am not forgiving you. And if she apologizes, that's fine. If she doesn't, that's fine. You forgive her. If she lay down and died, that's fine. You say, oh, mom is dead. I wonder if she had any insurance. And have a cheap funeral. Don't spend all the money on the funeral. You don't need the gloves and all that stuff. A whole bunch of flowers. Save the money and live off it. All right? What do you think about that?
No, I have so much, respect and love for both of them.
No, you don't. No.
I couldn't do that to her.
Let me tell you this. No one who has anger have love. You don't love your parents. You hate your parents. That's why you take it out on your husband. And eventually you're going to take it out on the kids. Because angry people do not have love.
That's why it's hard for me
if I don't know anything else, I know for sure angry people do not have love. That's why God said, man's heart is wicked, because human beings have anger. Yeah, so you don't love your parents. If you love your parents, you would be honest with them. Mm-hmm. And if she died, you collect the insurance.
But my mom never tried to influence me directly about hating my mom.
She was slick with it.
I would just see them, I can remember when I was 7, he'd come home drunk and he wanted more alcohol, and she was trying to stop him from finding it in the cabinets, and I came out and I saw that, and I'm just crying on my bed. It started then. It wasn't like she was trying to show me his ways. I just would see it.
No, she was playing victim. You just don't realize what was happening to you.
But wasn't she, in a way, a victim too?
No, she knew that she was married a beta male. And she wanted to control him.
She was 14 when she met him.
She still knew she was married a beta male. Women know weak men. They can smell them a mile. You could be right here on Los Angeles and Pico and see a guy way down. And you could be 14 years old and see an 80-year-old man down the road. Come a beta. I'm going to get him. Believe me, women know weak men when they see them.
Then that means that when I saw my husband for the first time, that I'm thinking he's weak too.
Yes. That's why you married him. You wouldn't have married him otherwise.
Because I saw a gladiator up in the club, and I'm like,
I bet you did.
That's what I want.
You're like, I see this gladiator. I'm going to bring him down from that gladiator. I'm bringing this one down.
I did. I wanted the biggest, and I wanted, Yes.
Did you guys have sex before marriage?
Yes.
I rest my case.
And the first time, we had Kennedy.
See there?
Yeah.
I got this gladiator. Women know weak men, believe me, and they know how to get them. Your mother knew that man before she married him.
Yeah.
She just wanted the control over him. It's too bad, but that's what happened.
Yeah.
So you got to forgive them both. And she set you up to identify with her. You just wasn't aware enough to see it. Are you doing the silent prayer video? Silent prayer?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, I have on my YouTube channel, silentprayer.video. I want you to start doing that so you can get to know yourself. It's so amazing what's going on inside that you don't see. And once you see it, then you understand what happened to you.
Okay.
Then you can forgive your parents. And your life is going to be amazing. And you won't traumatize your kids then.
I don't want to do that.
I know that, yeah. So overcome that anger.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, once you forgive your parents, even though they mess you up, they couldn't help it. That same spirit is in them.
Yeah.
But God will forgive you, and it'll be as though you didn't have a past. And it's going to be amazing for you. What do you want to say?
It's past now.
No,
I
you
was
can
just
still
gonna
say
say that when I enter her mother's home, it's almost like I'm being poisoned. It's almost like she is. It's not with words. It's more of just like it's a feeling that I get, and I don't know what that is. Can you maybe?
Well, you just sense evil. What's going on? It's spirit to spirit.
Yeah, it's a sense of like bitterness and anger. I think is what it is, and I can sense that.
We are a spirit. That's why when you wake up, you can see what another person is doing.
Yes.
They don't know you see them, but you can see them.
Yes.
It's so amazing. But when you're angry, you can't see it, or you get mad about it if you do see it. But are you going to deal with your mother?
Absolutely.
Are you afraid to?
I'm not, no.
How about your father?
I'm going to do that as well.
Yeah, you should do it. Hurry up and do it because you're already married with kids.
Immediately.
Oh, okay. Any questions for me?
No,
Okay.
That was beautiful.
Okay. You guys live here in L.A.?
No, Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh, really? Welcome to L.A.
Thank you.
I'm glad you came.
Yes.
Any other questions for me?
No.
Yeah. So what do you think about all this?
I was pretty apprehensive, of course, coming.
Yes.
But, I mean, the truth is the truth, and I can kind of discern when it's correct, and I haven't really seen any red flags. The only red flags that I've kind of seen is now I think maybe Luke's a little bit more judgmental, calling like everyone betas. And
Beta!
and it's like, is this a good thing or a bad thing that we are kind of like now really calling people out all the time?
That's a good question. As long as you don't have anger, it's good. As long as you're not judging them. You cannot judge another person if you don't have anger. It's impossible. And when you call them beta, they see that I'm joking about it. But when I'm serious about it too, but I still don't hate them. That makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you a beta?
Me?
Uh-huh.
A beta?
Women can be betas.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Angry women are betas.
And the other thing is, I kind of feel like because I'm supposed to be this submissive, and I know you know this, it's in the Bible, I understand and I want to be submissive. I kind of feel like the men are a little bit more privileged, but I know they're not supposed to be. Like in the sense that you said the other day, if he cheats on me, he shouldn't tell me.
Right.
And I'm like, but what about the trust, or what? Isn't that deceitful? But I know that it would help the marriage if I didn't know, because it's not going to hurt us.
That's
but it's
right.
going to kill him inside. You
Not
know?
if he doesn't feel guilty about it.
Oh.
If he could realize that he was wrong, if he could realize that he was wrong but never do it again,
Yeah.
he would have no problem.
Okay.
If he feels guilty and hold on to that guilt, he'll do it again. But if you realize, wow, this is nutty. I have a wife and kids. I'm not doing this. It would be over just like that. But if he went home and told you, it would never end.
Yeah.
Because you would never trust them again.
Yeah.
Because wives do that, or women do that.
Sure.
Oh, you don't tell me, you got to tell me. I want to know about it. I got to trust you. And the weak beta man said, I went out and cheated last night. They're like, oh, no. And now he got to call you every minute. Wherever he goes, he got to text you. How long will it be? Everything. It's just because once you lose faith in him, it's over.
Yeah.
It really is. Why do you think women think they need to know everything? You can't help it by knowing.
I'd rather not know.
Yeah.
You know, what you don't know can't hurt you.
That's
kind of
right.
thing, but not always right.
That's right.
But then
the world have taught you that.
Yeah.
The women of the world taught you that you need to know and you don't need to know.
Yeah.
He should not cheat. And if, God forbid, he does it, he should stop it. Be faithful to what is right.
Yeah.
And then he'll be faithful to his wife.
Sure.
But he should not tell it.
And then I heard.
And that doesn't mean he's being dishonest.
Sure.
As long as he's not dishonest with righteousness, he owes the truth to God, not to his wife. The wife is not God.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
And then you about to say something?
The other thing was I heard, and it's the same line, along the same lines. A good marriage is, when he knows all about me, knows my everything, but I don't know anything about him, that works out better. And I'm like,
yes.
Hold up again, but it's along the same lines, and I understand it. We're emotional. Women are very emotional.
You could say that again.
Yeah, for sure. And men are less, but many times they are equally emotional.
Any man that is emotional is a woman.
Yeah.
Really. He may be dressed in men's clothes, but inside he's a female.
Yeah. My dad cries all the time.
He's a woman.
I know.
Yeah. Is it hard to accept the right way for this thing to happen?
No, I just think there's these blocks that are preventing it from really happening.
Yes.
Because I'm sounding like him, I'm speaking like him, I'm agreeing like him, but there's still something that's like preventing me from really moving forward.
That would change once you forgive your mother and father.
Okay.
Really. Once you forgive your mother, forgive your father, return to your father. And returning to your father means don't hate your father.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with the wrongdoing that he carry out, but don't be angry at your father. Then through him you return to God and your life is perfect.
Okay.
But you can't love God and hate your earthly father. It just would never work.
Yeah.
That's why they turn you away from the father. The world hate men because men represent Christ, and the world is evil. So they want to turn you away from the man so that they can destroy you.
Okay.
Yeah. But once you forgive your father and mother, you're going to be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you just walk in the light.
Yeah.
It'll be so easy.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Anything else you disagree with me about?
No.
And I like the fact you're telling me. That's the right thing to do.
Yeah, no, that's really it. I've been trying to find things to disagree with you with, because of course this is tough, what is being imposed upon us, but I understand it's the right way.
Yes.
So no, I really haven't found anything else. I actually really love that you talk about sex not being so important. And I think that's really good, because something inside of me said it wasn't. Like when he wants that and craves it, I'm like, but that's serving you. It's, that's very self-serving. And
You're
love,
the drug dealer, he just
yes,
addict.
I felt like I was enabling him, because I'm like, all right, here,
Yeah.
And I agree with you completely with that. And it's kind of freed us a little bit, because there was so much sexual tension earlier with him.
I bet it was.
And he's lost a lot of that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's kind of amazing.
And does he do the quick bam, bam, thank you, ma'am?
Oh, yeah. All the time. I prefer it that way. I'm just like, 2 minutes,
right.
let's go,
I know.
Yeah. Sorry, honey. We're being very honest here,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing the bam, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Me too.
Because the men be going on, the lady be like looking around. When is this over?
Yeah. Because I'm already pregnant, and I'm thinking,
That's right.
why are we doing this? Like, you've already accomplished it,
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
God bless you.
thank you. God bless you for that, for sure.
Stop taking all day, man. Sex is not love.
It's not love.
No. The only purpose for sex is to make a baby.
Yes, we've done that.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
So every time you want to make babies, and make sure you have a whole lot of white babies.
They're white. They're definitely white.
Make a whole lot of white babies, but do it real fast and go to sleep. Women be like, oh, honey, hug me. He like, no, I don't want to hug. He ready to go to sleep.
Yeah, and I did. I thought I was like, if you want sex on a Tuesday, then you got to cuddle with me on a Monday.
I know.
And so it's like, okay, you know what? That's all that's for me. The cuddling's for me, and the sex is for him. And it
Yes.
wasn't love.
That's
it was just
right.
us needing on each
It's
other.
all
and,
ego.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah, I like that. I don't need the cuddling. As long as he doesn't need the sex, like we could just, love each other, and we don't need those things to,
Right on. You're on your way.
Yes.
And once you forgive your parents, I'm telling you, your whole life is going to wake up.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So I bet you were glad when you heard me say sex is not love.
Yeah, when I heard it, I was like, what? What did he say?
Wow, the world have messed you up, I'm telling you. We've been so brainwashed that it's amazing. About the Bible and everything, not just what the world been teaching, but the churches have brainwashed us too.
Our counselor, we have marriage counseling at church with a huge group. There's 30 of us, and the marriage counselor said that men have to have a release, and that my body is not mine, it's his, and his body is mine, and so I'm supposed to give him this release. And this is a marriage counselor telling all 30 of us in the room, and Luke and I were like, what? That's not what
you guys
heard.
can join this church. Forget about that one.
Yeah.
That's an insane man. Is it a man or a woman
It's
teaching?
a man.
He's insane. He can't have his own wife.
Yeah. And he has a book, and he has a following, and it's like he's telling everyone that, the Bible is basically saying, I'm right and he's right. And that's the problems that's going to be created with 1 Corinthians something where it says if you're married, you're going to have troubles. And he's saying, you guys are going to have troubles, and it's because you're right and you're right about your bodies.
Yeah, I've heard that kind of teaching too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's wrong. It's all wrong. Really. No wonder he has a big following. Somebody tell him, if the drug dealer said, hey, ladies, you got to give up some more drugs. Everybody going to follow that teacher.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I'm glad you're waking up. All right? Right on.